Okay, beautiful people. So this video is going to be about the astral projection part. And this dawned on me during my meditation as well. Now, you're literally playing tricks on your body, okay? You are not your body, for one, and we're going to get past this point first. Because even for people who are in like, into this, awareness or conscious community and stuff like that, people in the bodybuilding world, I always hear them talking. I'm going to work out like this to shock the muscle. I'm going to work out like this I'm going to eat a certain way to trick the body into burning fat more. I'm going to do this to get my body to produce better nitric oxide. I'm going to take this so that I can, have the body, help with protein breakdown synthesis. Those are examples. Okay. Do you notice how they're always referring to the body as that, like if it wasn't part of them? But they don't realize they're doing this. They still associate themselves with the body, but they'll talk about it like if they are not their body. You know what I mean? Now, when you're scared, okay, your heart starts to beat really quickly, right? Now, the way you calm down is if you're consciously controlling your breath, breathing in gently, breathing out gently, okay? You actually signal to your body that everything's okay. See, this is proof that your body cannot what is the word I want to use? Cannot tell, I guess, if this reality, if it's having a real experience or if it's having an imaginary experience. Do you notice when you go into a dream, you could wake up scared, right? And your heart is beating, and if you're having a nightmare, and you may wake up in cold sweats or whatnot, you know what I mean? Your body goes through these experiences as if it was real, but it was just a dream when you were in the dream realm. You know what I mean? So here it's the same thing. Same thing happens when you're here. You think experiences are real, and you could calm yourself or calm your body, all right, if you just control your breathing, because your body goes into fight or flight by sending the blood to the limbs, right? Because it's gonna either put you in that fight or flight, meaning you fight or you run away. You know what I mean? But when you breathe, then you calm the body down. You let the body know it's okay. You know what I mean? So, when you are trying to, let's say, have an out-of-body experience, this is why people can't get past this first state. Because, see, I know this happened just now during my meditation, but if you're laying there, okay, you're going to notice that your body's going to start to do things to you to figure out if you're really asleep or not. See, right now, my consciousness is in my body, okay? Your consciousness, let's say when you astral project, your consciousness leaves the body and goes to the spirit, okay? Which is what you are, okay? You are your body, your spirit, and your soul. You're all connected, okay? But what you really, really are is the consciousness. But the consciousness could go to your higher self, or it could come down to your ego. And this is why people say, oh, you're so in your ego, you're so egotistical. Matter of fact, when you're in this 3D realm of reality, it's not bad to be egotistical, because successful people only succeed in this realm because of their ego. See, if you don't have an ego, you ain't even gonna be able to speak. Your mind, you ain't gonna be a good, see, public speakers, good speakers have an ego, okay? You have to think highly of yourself for you to even be confident enough or love yourself enough to be out there and put your energies out there. You know what I mean? People say, oh, you're so self-centered. See, all these words, people want to look at it as bad thing, but what do you do when you meditate? You center yourself. You know what I mean? So all this garbage that people tell you, like, they don't mean shit. First of all, words don't even mean shit, okay? So here's the point that I want to get to. When you're laying there, okay, you literally got to put your awareness kind of like away from your body now. You're like in observation mode now. You're observing your body, but this is the part where people go wrong. They have that monkey mind sometimes. They get thoughts in there and they forget the consciousness goes back to the body. You know what I mean? Here's another thing though. When they're laying there, they might lose consciousness and they might just end up going to sleep. See, this is why the more you have to meditate a lot, strengthen that focus muscle. Okay? Because that's a muscle. It strengthens your frontal cortex. All right? And this is what helps you focus more. It strengthens see, meditation, you go to the gym to strengthen out your muscles. When you meditate, you're strengthening your focus muscle, your spirit muscle. Okay? The same way I told you, for you to have these extrasensory abilities, you got to practice on them. You got to learn how to use your energies. See, because here's the thing though. People here in this realm of reality, they go to work for money. They do everything. They work for everything. But how about if you're in God mode, why do you not have things working for you? Do you think God does work for anything? God has things working for him or her. Okay? So what are you? All right? What are you? Are you just existing, or are you putting yourself in that position where I am coming out of autopilot and I'm going to take charge and I'm God? You see how you said take charge? Okay? When you meditate, okay, you strengthen that focus muscle, so then you're going to be able to astral project or come out of body a lot easier because now you're more concentrated. When you lay there, the key is to have your body go to sleep, and your consciousness is able to shift, okay, to your spirit, which means you were able to come out of your vehicle, your vessel, okay? Because when you come out of vessel, notice that you're still attached by your umbilical cord. You still have a cord attached to your body. Okay? That's why people say, what happens if I can't get back in my body? That's not going to happen, because the same way that when you go into a dream world, you always wake up. You know what I mean? Now, controlling your emotions is another thing. You might start to get excited. You might start to have too much expectation. See, the key is to have the intent, but not have too much of that expectation and get excited. You know what I mean? When you're laying there, the key is to stay very, very still. Your body's going to trick you by giving you itches in your nose, giving you an itch in your ear. You might start to get a twitch. Ignore everything. Ignore it. That's your body literally testing you to see if you're going to sleep, because you go under sleep paralysis. You see, your body's always protecting you, which is why your ego is known as the fight or flight. You know what I mean? Like, people who are egotistical are always like, you know, they're very defensive, or they're very egotistical. They want to be like the best, you know. That's because your ego is always trying to shine. Your ego is, it also protects you, to tell you the truth. Your ego is your body. You have see all these systems that you have in your body, like the autonomic nervous system, which is the heartbeat. You know, you're not controlling how much blood goes in your limbs when you're scared. You don't control the amount of sweat that comes out of you to keep you cool. You don't control none of these systems in your body. You don't control it. That should tell you that you're not your body. You know what I mean? But here's the thing though. You can be conscious of this, and you can actually come off autopilot and control all these. But that's another video. And that's when you're in like super God mode. When you go into this meditative state, you have to be an observer of your body the whole time. You're going to start to get over that. You're going to go into sleep paralysis, because your body puts you in sleep paralysis so that when you do go to sleep, you don't act out your dreams. Let's say if you're running in your dreams or you're fighting in your dreams and you're not under sleep paralysis, your body's going to start acting on all that, and you might hurt yourself. So this is your body still protecting you. And this is why you go into sleep paralysis. People start to feel the sleep paralysis part. They panic, and then they come out of the state. And once you're in sleep paralysis, literally you're really, really close to just coming out of body. That's pretty much the next step. All right. The whole thing is using your imagination. So when you're laying there and you're on vibration and you feel that your body's already asleep, like you can't feel your limbs, like everything is numb, because that's the feeling you're going to get, is you're going to feel numb. Now, you're going to use your imagination. And just like even in meditation, your imagination is very important, okay? Because here's the thing though. Let's say if you want to move energies around your body, you do it using your imagination. So let's say, for example, you want to ground. You're going to imagine you're going to put your attention to your feet. You're going to already start feeling subtle sensations on your feet. And when you start feeling that, that's literally energy, because energy flows where attention goes. So you could imagine, let's say, a golden ball traveling up your leg. You're going to start to feel that sensation that started on your feet, and you could travel it anywhere in the body you want. But how do you do that? Using your imagination, right? So using your imagination, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to see, or use your imagination, you're going to see yourself coming out of body, or you're going to pretty much imagine yourself already sitting next to your body, for example. Some people use the rope technique where they see a rope coming in front of them and they'll grab the rope. And me, for example, I did it one time where I like literally like wiggled, but I didn't wiggle my body. I kind of like just imagined myself wiggling out. Some people use the rollover technique. You know what I mean? One time I came out of body and I wasn't even aware I came out of the body. I just literally got up out of my bed and I was out of body. You know what I mean? But I felt like I got up to just, you know, when you just get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom? I just literally got up, but I realized I was out of my body. Now, here's the things you might experience when you're out of body, all right? You'll notice that no lights work because first of all, it was dark in my house, so I tried to turn the lights on. And it's not like I couldn't see. It was just like I was trying to like see clearer, but I couldn't turn the light. I tried to flick the switch and people asked, was it solid? Yes, the fucking light switch felt solid, which is crazy. So I tried to turn on the lights didn't work, and I walked straight to my door. But the thing that I noticed is that I had to control my emotions because I noticed that the more excited I got, I felt like I was gonna come back in my body, and I was sleeping a certain way. I was sleeping like this, but the whole time I was walking in my house, I felt like I was walking kind of like that, the same way that I was sleeping, which is pretty funny because that means that I was kind of like in between there and I was about to jump back in my body, but I controlled my emotions. This is what fucked me up is I was trying to open my door, but for some reason I couldn't open my door. And when I tried to open my door, I got frustrated that I couldn't open the door because the thing is I could see through the blinds outside my window and shit looked crazy, man. Like, you know when you look up in the sky and then you see the stars? The lights or the stars didn't look like that. They looked like freaking like disco balls. And that's what got me excited. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I want to go outside. You know what I mean? Like, it just looked, and I knew I was out of body, but I couldn't open the door. And I got frustrated to the point that it got me back in my body. You know what I mean? So this is why, and here's the thing, people ask, why couldn't I just go through the door? See, that didn't occur to me. Everything felt solid, but I think it's because I was just in that space where I thought everything was just solid. Maybe if I started to know that I could go through certain things, then I can go through certain things. Now, pretty much for me to even figure that out, if I would have ever figured that out, I should have stayed in that state a longer time, but it's just that it doesn't last too long. You know what I mean? So the key is to try to control your emotions so you can stay in that state for a longer period of time. Okay? Did I see a silver cord? No, I didn't see a silver cord. I didn't see anything. Okay? Because I didn't look down. And I didn't think to look down. And the funny part is I didn't think to even look back. You know what I mean? And this is what I was thinking. I was like, why didn't I look around my house? All I did was just like I was out of my bed and I went straight to my door to leave my house. That was my intent. I wanted to leave the house. And I couldn't, so I jumped back in my body. And I woke up exactly in that position like this, that I felt like, you know, my head was kind of turned. I was walking like that the whole time I was in that astral projection state. So here's the thing. Imagination is key. Practice meditation. If you meditate, but like really, really practice not going to sleep. And here's the thing. If you do this with a full stomach, you're going to be robbed of so much energy, okay, that it's hard to even astral project or even meditate, to say the least. You want to exhaust and fatigue your body, you know what I mean? Which is why it's important to, you know, work out and stuff like that and whatnot. This is why people say astral project in the middle of the night, like say, like you get up at 3 a.m. and do it. I've tried this, but for some reason, I cannot do it. Like I just try to do it and it just doesn't work. So it's worked better for me to be right before I go to bed, or even like, let's say if I go to the gym and then I come back and I do this like sometime during the day when I'm done doing my projects, I can do it a lot easier. Now, another thing that might affect you coming out of body is the type of blankets you have on you. Okay, if they're made of a certain material, don't forget you're electromagnetic. It's going to affect you coming out of body. So try not to have any blankets on you. You want to be very comfortable. You want to try to eat high vibrational foods. Again, you know, you want to stay alkaline because your body's electromagnetic. So if you're electromagnetic, you're going to be able to do things a lot easier. You're also going to be lighter. All right. If you're eating dense foods, you're going to be heavier. Like I told you, it's like you are what you eat. You know what I mean? So if you're eating dense foods, don't expect to fly if you're going to be that heavy. Okay? So, these tips are very, very good. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different techniques online that you can look up. There's no wrong technique. You know what I mean? It just depends on what works for you. Crystals work very well. To astral project, they actually raise and increase your vibration. I've noticed that I did it one time with binaural beats, and the binaural beats, for some reason, when I came out of body, I felt my head was bzzz, it was vibrating. It was crazy. And it was like, yo, I couldn't it was hard, you know what I mean? And I ended up closing my eyes. Like, I wasn't scared or in pain or anything like that, but it was just like an overwhelming feeling, like vibrating in my third eye. It was like, bzzz. So what I did was I closed my eyes and I woke up and I was in my body. But when I closed my eyes to do that, I went on the floor. But the moment I woke up, I was back in my body. You know what I mean? So you have different visions. You know what I mean? You have like different eyes. And this is the thing. You see, you have third eye, but there's different levels that you have in your eyes. The crazy part is, one day I was laying in my mom's house when I went to go visit her. And I laid down and I was staring at the window, but I drifted off a little bit into sleep. And for some reason, I felt like I was still awake and I was looking at the window, but the ambient looked kind of orange and reddish. You know what I mean? It didn't look like how we look at normal, day-to-day reality, a normal sunny day. But I also noticed that, my mom lives on a third floor. And this is when I went to New York to visit her. And I just saw a hand go like that on the window. But it wasn't like a monster's hand, like boom, like that. It was just like a very gentle, subtle hand that went on the window. But then I'm like, yo, how the fuck? I'm on the third floor. And then all of a sudden, that shocked me to the point where I was like, I woke up. And then I was like, oh shit, what the hell was that? But it was so fucking real. It's like, I wasn't out of my body, but I saw it. It was just like, I'm looking at something the way you look at it in your everyday life. It's that real. Because when you're dreaming, you could tell it was a dream. But this wasn't like that. I was laying there and I just saw something, but I saw a hand there. But it was just so real. I even heard the hand go on the window. It sounded clear as day. I was listening to everything around me. It was just so clear. So there's different things, like these things make you realize that you have like these powers, and there's more to what we see here every day. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is that you can hear all this online, and nobody does anything to try to practice and get to know this. Like, people are so curious about other people's life online and all this garbage that they see online that keeps their mind entertained, detainment. They detain your mind. You know what I mean? Entertainment, meant at the end is mentality. Instead of just being curious about these things that you can actually do. See, if you knew you had superpowers and all you had to do is just work a little bit on it every day, would you do it? You know what I mean? And this is what I talk about. When you have knowledge, right? What good is knowledge? Knowledge is if it's not applied knowledge. You get what I'm saying? And these are things that everybody has these abilities. You know what I mean? This, to me, would have never made sense 3 years ago. Because I was still into like, I'm eating 6 times a day. I'm eating red meat. I'm eating all that. But then something sparked in me that made me realize that there's more to life. And it all started with me becoming so curious about extraterrestrials. That's how my journey started. From there, I started to do research. The third eye information came in. I saw a video by Infinite Waters, and he started talking about the third eye, and it scared me. I'm like, oh no, I'm not getting into that shit. I was still in my religious shit and all that. And that's what holds us back, is fear. You know what I mean? Fear is what holds us back. And that's why, look, you gotta like literally train your body, because a lot of the reasons why you come out of the state that you're in when you're trying to astral project is because you're going to become fearful of to some extent of certain feelings that you might see. People fear the unknown. You know what I mean? So your body always being in that fight or flight defensive mode, that's what happens. It just tends to jerk. Like me, for example, there's certain things that have happened to me when I meditate, where I start to feel these crazy energies where I'm like, and I wake up, but it's not like I intentionally did it. My body just woke me up. It's crazy. Like, your body will do it, but it's because your body is just always in that fight or flight, which is why it's important to meditate even before you try to astral project or come out of body. And that's why nobody really practices this, I think, is because people don't meditate. And if you start to meditate, you start to calm your body down. You start to get off that left brain fight or flight and go more into that center. Like I zigzag, to tell you the truth, because you have to be in this 3D realm of reality. You got to exist here. You know what I mean? That's why my name is Zigzag. I don't believe in, one side is better than the other. I just believe you zigzag and then find your center point. You find your neutral point. You know what I mean? Now, I hope this information helps you guys. This is why I say diet's important. People are afraid when they come out of body that they're going to see demons and certain entities. Don't forget, you're going to see in there, like your day-to-day life outside here in this 3D is a reflection of what you project out, right? You are the universe. That's above, so below. You're made of 80% water. The earth is made of 80% water, okay? The celestial seas, notice they call them the celestial seas, okay? That's all water up there. And then the rest is, you got your planets up there. Then you got your gas planets at the end. You know what I mean? So this is what makes you think. If you start to clear the parasites in you, your outside life in this 3D realm is going to look better, but also your spirit realm is going to look better too. Because here's the thing, if you're eating meat, you're going to have a stench in that realm. Okay? Same way here. You always have to shower and you always smell bad and you always got to put deodorant on. And the reason why is because you are what you eat. What you eat rots in you and it comes out your pores. That's why you smell bad and you got to constantly shower. All right? I made an important topic about that in my other videos. Go check them out. So that's why it's important to eat clean. When you eat clean here, you're gonna attract favorable situations even in that spirit realm. If your house is dirty and something's rotten, what are you going to get? Maggots. You're going to get rodents and roaches and unfavorable things. You see, I don't say bad or good. I just say unfavorable to you. Okay? Because you see, roaches, rats, they're all here. They're just an extension of you. And whatever you are doing is why they're there. Like if you're a pig, you're inviting them in the same way you invite parasitic entities into your life. In your 3D realm of reality, you invite toxic people. You also invite toxic entities into your realm, your spiritual realm, because you have not taken the priority to clean your vessel, and you're feeding into these addictions. Okay, this is important. All information that benefits you if you want to astral project, or if you want to come out of body, or you want to explore psychic abilities, which literally I'm still working on. I'm not telling you I know it all, but this is stuff that's worked on my journey, my experience. And my videos, the direction I'm taking is empowering you in the now. I'm not focused on, history, because history is always changing. Okay. And there's technology here beyond your belief where they can change history even if they wanted to. Okay. I would focus more on like your body, how you can empower yourself now. See, if I found out, certain truths about history, how does that empower me now? The presidents change all the time. How does that change my life now? It doesn't. You know what I mean? Presidents change. Does it do anything to your life? No. But when you start to clean your body out, you start to notice immediate changes. Okay? You start to feel lighter. You start to feel different. You start to feel better. Your attitudes change. You know what I mean? You can't fly if you're heavy. You get what I'm saying? You're going to be less efficient if you got a lot of gunk or heavy in your car. But we'll talk soon, okay? I don't want to make this video long. I already talked about this in my last videos.